Is Brady a system merchant? Let's start there. Let's start there. I've always the thing about the NFL is this, is that I am a sports fan and I always respect sports, and I think you always have to respect sports prowess. So when guys used to say, "Okay, Tom Brady, greatest quarterback of all time," blah blah blah, I was like, is it really him being amazing, or is it really down to his receivers? Is he reliant on his receivers? Is he reliant on Bill Belichick's system? You know, it's sort of the same thing that they say about Messi. That's okay. What if how good would Messi be in another team other than Barcelona? And I just know that if you use a brain, Messi would still ball in any other league. Okay, because he's that amazing. So I've always had that against Tom Brady. That okay, is it Tom Brady or is it just the receivers and the system that Bill Belichick built around him? But the very fact that in your very first season with these Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you've already taken these guys to the Super Bowl, leads me to believe that maybe. Now, guys will say, well, he also took I think he took Gronk as well from Pats and so forth, and then they've still surrounded him by very good pieces around him. But still, in your very first season in a new team without Bill Belichick, so basically, one thing you can say is, oh, he's a system merchant and he's reliant on Bill Belichick. That's all. It's just Bill Belichick that took him there. This now shows that no, it wasn't Bill Belichick. It was Brady was a major part of why they won 6 rings. And so my thing about this is that it's amazing what he's done, but I think this is what for me will signify it. If he wins it with the Tampa Bay Dudes, first season, a team other than Bill Belichick, I think that will just solidify him as okay. Let's talk about the greatest sports people in history. Let's talk about sports achievements, and let's look at what Jordan achieved. Let's look at what Federer achieved. Let's look at what Pele, Maradona achieved. Let's look at what Messi, Cristiano have achieved. Let's look at what Tyson achieved. So what was also called Wayne Gretzky achieved. Let's look at what Usain Bolt achieved. Michael Johnson and so forth. So he would have to be in that conversation because you always have to respect. Because people will say, "Well, NFL was." You have to respect the sports within its own paradigm. You have to respect what Nadal and Federer have done within tennis. You've got to respect what Wayne Gretzky has done in ice hockey. You've got to respect what Tyson did in boxing at a very young age. You've got to respect what Roy Jones Jr. did, in the way that he did it within boxing. So I'm always a fan of you saying what's up in sports. Hence why this is such a great matchup. And for Patrick Mahomes, this is a huge, significant game because you could now really, because I think the Kansas City Chiefs have 2 Super Bowls, and the Super Bowl they won last year was I think like 50 years after the very first one that they actually won. So this could be a legacy for them because I think he signed the deal where look, bro, I'm not going to be your franchise guy for the next 5, 6, 7 years. Also, I think he's 25 now, and it's crazy. So Mahomes is 25. Brady's 43, which is insane. So for Mahomes, if he wins this, it would be like the passing of the torch. Similar to what I thought the France Argentina game was, where Mbappe scored those goals while Messi was on the pitch. So I think if Mahomes is on there and he is the guy that sort of beats Brady, is to sort of be the passing on the touch. See, the only thing about NFL that I don't like is that I like the whole face to face, mano a mano, because obviously it's attack v defense. So basically, there's never a time when Brady and Mahomes are on the pitch at the same time. But again, same thing with golf, as with what Tiger Woods has also done in golf. It's about all right. That's you. Now here's me. That's you. Now here's me. What can you do when pressure is on? Okay, I've now scored. Can you now score again? I've now scored. Now can you now score again? All right. This is how I can now go further into the lead. This is now how I can now get back into the game. So the back and forth will be super interesting to see between both of them. So trying to think about who will win this. Something just tells me Brady. Because I think when you look at things statistically and so forth, Kansas City Chiefs are more fancied based on just how amazing Mahomes is. They are the defending champions. So you would probably put them as favorites. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think they beat the Green Bay Packers. I think in their championship game, and I think the Green Bay Packers were the favored guys with Aaron Rodgers there. So they've already beaten. They've already done their whole David and Goliath thing. They've already done the whole underdog thing, beating against guys who were favored ahead of them. So, because I just think, and if Brady wins, he's seventh, he's first without Bill Belichick at 43 years of age. You've got to be like, you know what? That's just an amazing, objective sporting achievement. You know, and for me, he needs to win this one. The six ones, I'm like, okay, fair enough. Okay, you got to the final, but if you didn't win it, then it's like, no, you needed Bill Belichick to really win one. Same thing that I always say, like, Pep win a Champions League without Messi. Brady win a Super Bowl without Bill Belichick. Win one. If you win one, you are fully 100% solidified. And then you now have to look at Bill Belichick funny, like, Bill, how good are you really? We gave you all this praise. Nah, it wasn't only you. It was really Brady that made you look a lot better than you actually did. But see, that's always the thing about quarterbacks is that, maybe you guys can tell me more, is that how much is it down to the quarterback? How much is it down to the receivers? Because is this really a great pass, or is it an okay pass that the receiver has to pretty much split his neck open to try to catch? Because it always seems to really favor the quarterback. Where it's like, is it always them? So yeah, for me, I believe Tampa win this one. Brady wins this one, and I think that is the narrative that goes on. I think Brady just shows the maturity and grown madness over Mahomes. Is that when it comes to money time and pressure, I think Brady, through his experience, will deal with it far better than Mahomes. We'll see what happens. I'll do my post-match.